I really need to start taking notes when watching movies I'm going to review because I can't remember a damn thing about this. Live by Night is a gangster drama set in the time of Prohibition America with a screenplay by, directed by, and starring Ben Affleck, and it's also the second Dennis Lehane novel he's adapted after he made his directorial feature debut with Gone Baby Gone, because don't ever forget that Ben Affleck's actual directorial debut was with something called I Killed My Lesbian Wife, Hung Her on a Meat Hook, and Now I Have a 3-Picture Deal at Disney, which has got to be the second best title ever on IMDb, behind only The Man with the Smallest Penis in Existence and The Electron Microscope Technician Who Loved Him. Genius. Unfortunately though, Live by Night never gets anywhere near the thrills or the tension of Gone Baby Gone because this is really dull. It actually starts off strong with a really good introduction to Affleck's character, a man who's returned from the First World War and vowed never to follow orders again, so he becomes a bank robber. As you do. Then, following a robbery, a sequence of events happen that culminate in him relocating to Tampa in Cuba to oversee the rum-running leg of the Italian mafia. So that plan worked out. But despite its strong start, after the first act it very quickly begins to meander and lose its focus. It goes from being a revenge story to a rise to power story to a story about dealing with your past, but the problem is that every time it changes direction like that, it does so by just pretty much dropping every plot thread that leads up to that point. I've never read the novel, so granted some of the problems inherent in the movie story could be as a result of the book itself, but even still, the screenplay is one that tries to juggle far too many things at once. The movie has 3 distinct acts and each one could easily make up an entire movie's worth of plot on its own if it was explored in a bit more depth, and there's quite a few times throughout this I was thinking that it could be maybe a TV series. I would much rather have seen a longer, more drawn out and more thoroughly explored version of this story than what we got, which tries to cram far too much in at once. Ben Affleck is a good director and he's proven that 3 times in a row, but with Live by Night he's just not been able to wrangle an engaging story out of the source material. His style is usually very taut and captivating, however the pacing is way off in this and it's a film that feels a lot longer than it is. I think it's about 2 hours, which is already fairly lengthy, but honestly, if you'd have told me it was about 3 hours when I left the cinema, I'd have believed you. And that's completely exacerbated by the feeling that this film has like 3 endings. I'm not joking, there was points where I was like, well, that's that wrapped up nicely. That was a waste of 4.5 hours. Wait. There's more? It's not all bad though, the performances from all of the cast are pretty good, although actors like Elle Fanning and Zoe Saldana are kind of criminally underused and not given much to do. The cinematography is also beautiful. DP Robert Richardson is one of the best cinematographers working today and he has 3 Oscars to his name, so you can imagine the quality of the photography in this movie, and it's just such a shame that the kind of high quality technical stuff wasn't in service of a film that had a bit more substance to it, because a bit like me in work, this film thinks it's a lot better than it actually is. Because ultimately, while this is a good story, it's not one that's told all that well. It has like 5 or 6 subplots throughout, none of which are mined for much, and I think it's the kind of sprawling story that requires a lot more time. Again, I really think it'd have been better suited to a series because as a film, it's just too dull. I mean, it's fine, and I don't regret watching it, but within 24 hours you'll have forgotten everything about it. So I'm going to give Live by Night 2 popcorns. Thanks so much for watching my review of Live by Night. If you liked it, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and maybe click the button below to see 2 of my latest videos. If you're new, please consider subscribing. So again, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye! Oh my god, I'm dying. Why am I filming with a cold? Jesus.